The Boy and His Worn-Out Shoes. One cold winter in New York, a young boy named James woke up early every morning to sell newspapers on the streets. He and his mother lived in a small, old apartment. His father had passed away years ago, and James had to work to help support their home. James' shoes were worn out and torn, so much that his feet would freeze on snowy days. But he never complained and continued his work with hope for the future. One day, a wealthy man who always bought newspapers from James noticed his old shoes. He asked, "Why don't you buy new shoes?" James smiled and replied, "I save my money for food and rent. These shoes still work." The man didn't say anything and walked away. The next day, when James arrived at his usual spot, the same man was waiting for him. He had brought a new pair of shoes for James. At first, James hesitated to accept them, but the man said, "This is a gift for a hard-working and honest boy. Just promise me one thing one day. If you see someone like yourself, help them too." Years passed. James studied, worked hard, and eventually became a successful businessman. One day, he saw a boy on the street with worn-out shoes, just like he had once been. James smiled, bought a new pair of shoes, and gave them to the boy just as a kind man had once done for him. Sometimes, a small act of kindness becomes a light of hope that stays in people's lives forever.